All right, this is take number 70 something on this video. I kept having technical difficulties. I made a video that was too long. All right, let's try this again. Yo, what's up YouTube? Dirty Dan Gaming coming back at you for our third video. I did a video last night that was entirely too long and I wanted to redo it. Again, as I get more adept into editing, you'll see a little bit better, videos for me. But at the moment, I just don't have the patience for it. It was super frustrating when I was trying to learn it. But we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. So the video I made last night and that I still want to talk about is a mid-level spender cav guide. How to gear your account to cavalry focused as a mid spender. I am both of these. I am both a mid spender. I am both a cavalry main. So let's just jump right into it. I don't want it to be a super long video. Commander wise, what I did while I was developing my account, I took the advice of what I would say 100% of the content creators out there tell you is max YSG first. So aside from Minamoto, YSG was my first maxed legendary commander. As I was developing my account, ready to get it up for KVK 1, I was buying dailies for the double C chest. Now this was before the update, where we are able to pick among commanders. I'm probably going to be doing a video of that as well, a restart project perhaps, and going through how to build an account that way, because I honestly haven't done it, so I'm not going to share my thoughts or advise you on how to do that just yet. But what I did is I was buying the double C daily chest. Before this update, you had to finish a certain commander and then the next commander would come up. So I think it was double C and then Charles and then so on and so forth. I can't remember the order anymore, not that it matters anyway. So I went ahead and I was investing into double C. I'll just say this right now, just with the format that we have currently, if I could go back, I would have invested earlier into Charles, just because in KVK 1 and KVK 2 Charles YSG is the garrison meta, at least when we played in 1777. That's pretty much all we saw. Once we got to the Constantine MGE, I think we started to see a little bit more of Constantines in KVK 2, I think, but primarily a lot of it was Charles YSG, and mostly just because you get so many deads from it, and just especially in the younger KVKs when players are still a little bit new and green, you can just pull them into the AoE and you're just causing massive deads on each side. So I probably would have done Charles before doing double C, but double C hasn't failed me, and he's awesome for arc. I like using him as an arc runner. So yeah, so we did YSG first, obviously Minamoto, one of the cheapest commanders you can invest in, and then it was double C. Next, I saved up a buttload of gems for Khan. I will say this right now, I max spun each wheel of Genghis Khan because I wanted to limit the amount of universal sculptures I was using for him, and this is what it costed me. This is 540 spins of Genghis Khan and I got 232 sculptures. Such garbage. If you're a mid spender, in my personal opinion, do not max spin these wheels. Spin to 100, that's it. It's fine. It's good enough. I did the same thing with Takeda. Takeda, I needed to do a little bit more. I just wanted to try it again because that was a real crunch time for universal sculpts right before KVK 3 in order to max Attila Takeda pretty much at the same time. Again, 540 spins of the wheel. That's 3 wheels of max spins, and I only got 210 sculptures, give or take, maybe 15 to, let's say 50, give or take 50 sculpts. So even 490 spins, and I'm only getting 200. Like, it's just, I don't see I don't see it as such a profitable thing to max spin these wheels. So it is what it is. Did it once, I'm not doing it again. So yeah, that's that. Genghis Khan, again, I went ahead and I maxed him. I do kind of regret it at this point until we get a defensive tree cavalry commander that I can stick him behind. He gets targeted so easily. I mean, even behind Saladin, he's pretty good, but I think there's other commanders that you can choose better to pair with Saladin, such as like a YSG, such as William. There's a lot better options that you can put with him. So I do regret the investment of the sculpts. As a mid spender, I would say you could probably hold off on Khan. And if you wanted to, even as a Cav focused player, I would say you could probably take those sculpts and flip them into Alex, because he's so versatile and you can use him in the future with future Cav marches. I mean, in my KVK2, I was running Genghis Khan Alex a decent amount of the time because I wanted to add a little bit of that tankiness aspect to him. And the really nice thing that I like about Alex is if you notice on his second skill, that march doesn't take any damage reduction effects. So Khan machine gunning off that primary skill and then his expertise, that's all unaffected, straight up damage. That's not being debuffed in any sort of way from your enemies. So that's why I decided to do that. But again, I kind of regret going that way. If you have the patience and you don't want to invest in Alex because you are set on being strictly cavalry, you can save them later and then obviously invest them into Attila, Takeda, Jadwiga, XY, Chandra. Honestly, if I can take a trade right now, I would have done Chandra instead of Khan. I probably would have pushed on a few open MGEs or an open MGE, since we do fixed ones in our kingdom. Moving on to the Generation 3 commanders. Let me just try and do with rarity first. Generation 3 commanders, Attila, Takeda, mid spender. Even if you're a free to play, I would say go ahead and get Attila, Takeda, just because the amount of severely wounds that they put onto people and give you rack up kills like super quickly. And if you have a dud of a KVK like we just had, where we were forced at times to just sit in front of a pass and put a troop there and duel or just get swarmed or whatever. I mean, Attila is still, he was the most effective way of me getting those kills when I needed them. And even in the ruins of KVK 3 and on, since you can only do one troop, I mean, he was giving me amazing trades. And especially if you find those nice free-to-play players who probably are running around with epic commanders or not the greatest gear, you can crack like 150 to 200k sev wounds on a single march. On a single march, you're getting 200k kills just with having an Attila Takeda. So free to play mid spender, if you're a cavalry main, you need Attila Takeda. Go ahead and pick those guys up. You'll notice too that I'll refer to free to play and mid spenders. Probably going to do a free to play guide as well. I have played as a relatively low spender, not totally free to play, but I usually refer to free to play and mid spenders just because the heavy spenders and mega whales, they can get whatever they want. So don't really need a guide for those guys. They just drop money, swipe their visas, and they're going to get what they want. So cheers to them. Congratulations. You guys suck. I'm just jealous. All right, moving on. Generation 4 commanders. You get William and Chandra. William, you definitely want. Right now, I have him at a 5551. You definitely want to expertise him. He's an open field monster. Open field monster. You'll probably end up putting him with Saladin until, say, like XY comes around for you. Well, I guess now you can choose. But where is that? Right now I'm running XY William because I'm doing Saladin Khan, just because I just don't want to waste Khan on the bench and just leave him sitting there. Normally I would do Saladin YSG, but at the moment I'm running Charles YSG until I have enough cav to sustain 5 full marches, and then also I do need the commanders as well. But William's definitely a must. You must get this commander if you're a cavalry main. Moving on to the other generation 4 commander, you have Chandragupta. Initially I really liked him. I really liked the skills that he had, and then we got all these, you know, sayings and reports that, you know, his skills weren't really working the way they should be, and now he's the rally meta to help against Xeno YSS. So if you're a rally leader as a mid spender and you have the sculptures available, XY Chandra, definitely good to go. I would definitely go ahead and grab that. If you're a low spender, I would say hold off on Chandra. I would say for a low spender priority, you should definitely do Saladin first, then save for Attila Takeda, finish those two, then go for William if you're a low spending cav main. That's what I would do. Coming up soon, we are going to be maxing XY, and hopefully in MGE we can make a push to get a decent amount of Chandra sculptures. And then so that's generation 4, and then generation 5 you have XY and Jadwiga. XY I think most cav players should have. So what I did, because I had kind of like a surplus of sculpts and I didn't really know what I wanted to do yet, and I'm not usually one to do this, but I did go ahead and I invested the amount of sculpts that I needed in William and XY to make them both 5551. Yeah, you can see here I only got, you know, 2 sculpts from William. I just did an unlock and a couple extra sculpts hanging around, and then I popped enough to put that in. My reason for doing that is because back in the day when you would have 3 simultaneous wheels with the same commander, usually you would be able to spin 3 times, and then I think it's like for that, after you spin 3 times, sorry, backtrack, you can 5551 a commander and then spin the wheel 3 times, and then you should be fairly close to maxing him, and then I think you got to put a couple extra sculpts into him. I think that was generally the rule of thumb, so that's why I went ahead and did that. We were just going into Season of Conquest. XY had just came out. We just got William available to us, so I wanted them both, so that's why I went ahead and did that with that logic. But XY I think most cav players should go for. If you can get him 5515, I think you're good, unless you want to be a rally leader. But if you don't and you just are trying to focus on open field, I think you could leave him at a 5515, and then you can, you know, expertise your William if you haven't done so already. Lastly, to wrap up the cav commanders, we have Jadwiga. I'm torn a little bit. I want her so bad just because I'm a cav main, and this is the first cav garrison commander that we got. However, I don't know if she's going to be super usable in the field. We have, I think, 1 player in our kingdom right now, shout out to Mizo, who has a max Jadwiga. I think he used her in the field a little bit, but not enough to really see, you know, some decent reports. Her skills don't really wow me for the open field either. She's only getting 10% defense here. Pelagius expertise, which everyone should have by Season of Conquest, offers more defense to the march. She's giving you some decent damage, but she's gonna have to be secondary. So this damage bonus for 3 seconds probably isn't going to come back around and get that next skill from your primary commander. So that damage is really only being applied to attack. She does offer a little bit more additional tankiness on skill damage, and a little bit damage increase against archers, and a little bit additional skill regeneration, and then skill damage bonuses, and then a little bit of additional tankiness. Again though, I'm not wowed by her skills open field. This is why in my previous video when I spoke about YSS, Another reason why I think he's just so good and everyone should have him is because he's usable in the open field. He's offering you more defense. He's offering you more of a nuke. You're getting abilities to proc off on extra damage, which I like better chances to proc opposed to this, because you know almost 99% of the time I don't think you're going to be, although you want to chase your next skill with this damage bonus, I don't think it's really ever going to happen. But with his ability to proc an additional damage bonus, maybe it does land when you're firing off a skill. So that's why I like him a little bit better. I think what I'm going to be doing, although I'm a cavalry main, I do need a defense for my city, so I'm going to probably go ahead and max YSS before I do Jadwiga, and then probably I'll come back around and max her eventually. But just to wrap it up, we've cut a decent amount of time from last night's video and even my past couple videos as well. As a cavalry focused player, go ahead and max YSG first. Just do it. Everyone should max YSG as their first commander. Next, Saladin, take him to 5551. I think he's fine like that. I don't think you need to put in the extra sculpts. What I'm actually going to do with him is I'm going to be, after I'm done with Alex on the dailies, I'm going to be investing my dailies into Saladin just so I can finish him. Got to make him nice and shiny and match his other cavalry bros, you know. Genghis Khan, I would advise don't even do it. He's good for a KVK and a half maybe, but then he just targeted so much. He's great for PvE, but I think you can find other options for PvE events. You guys still have Minamoto. Ethelfled's not bad with a YSG. I mean, you have other options to do. I might retweak this thought and say go ahead and max Khan, but that's not going to be until we get a defense tree cavalry commander. Generation 3, till it's Takeda. Every Cav player should have them in their arsenal. Generation 4, William Chandra, Max William, open field beast Chandra. Unless you're a rally leader, I'll leave that call up to you. I do think I saw Fleisch the other day running around with a Chandra and Genghis Khan, and I'm a little bit intrigued, so I might be retweaking this a little bit. I am very intrigued by that combination. Again, you're getting a damage bonus from Chandra that's going to be affecting Khan's skill as you're, you know, firing off. So you have that potential to get some really nice damage there. And then lastly, for the Generation 5 commanders, XY and Jadwiga, definitely go for XY if you can get him 555. 5515. He's good unless you want to be a rally leader. And then lastly, Jadwiga. It's tough. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave the door open on Jadwiga. I don't want to make that decision, especially since I don't have her maxed. And you know, I have taken some rallies without Jadwiga, and I'm super cav focused, guys. This is what I'm working with here. So you can see I have almost 2 million cav compared to most other. Why do I have 103 in the hospital? I have taken some rallies without Jadwiga, and it worked. And I'll probably do another video about that. Let's just help people start thinking outside the box. Again, that'll be on the next video. I'll leave the door open on Jadwiga. I'm not going to throw out, you know, I want to do these things as I have experience doing them. So maybe my buddy Mizo can offer some suggestions on that. He actually did offer me some great advice when I was torn between going on our next MGE for Chandra or Jadwiga, and he gave me some great insight. So maybe he'll be able to offer some on Jadwiga as well. And you know, maybe we'll throw this into the comments or whatever. So with that, I'm just under 20 minutes. I'm gonna wrap this up so I can make it my fastest and quickest video ever. Thank you all for the support. Peace.